Hello, 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 everyone. It's Kim from K&RP here in southeastern Manitoba. It is a hot and humid day. It's currently 20 degrees Celsius, but feels like 23 with the humidex, which means it's 68 Fahrenheit, but feels like 73. So it's going to be warm and humid, and that's okay because we're here playing. I have fabulous, fabulous people with me today because, we like to play together. We've got Miriam and Anne and Beth and hi, Maxie. Nice to see you. We're going to be playing with textures today. So, who would like to go up first and explain what you're doing? Kinda. Beth. Okay.
I'll go. I'll go.
Beth's
I
up.
just
Hang on. I just got a cursor thing.
okay.
There. There.
Okay, I'm up. I'm up.
You're up.
Yeah. Today we are going to be doing anything with textures. So I'm right now um, on my desk, and last night, if you watched my stream last night, we did a list with the chat room, and they came up with all of these ideas for textures,
Oh, I missed
and
that.
and we just had a lot of fun with it. So I just want to tell you that anything that you can feel, close your eyes and you can touch it, that is texture. So on my desk, I'm cleaning it up. And when we come around the next time, I'm going to have a blank piece of paper and we're going to use all of these textures on my desk to make a page. We're going to make a prompt page using all of these little textures. And I've got a napkin. I've got some of this orange bag from the oranges. Remember, you know what that is? That orangey stuff. I'm going to use that for a hair. I'm going to use it for hair. You got to come back around and watch and see what I do with that. That's going to be really fun. I've got some paint chips. Um, you can use just anything is textury, and you can even use a stamp. And if you put that mark on the stamp, you can use it with the ink mark embossing ink, and then you pour the sand on it, and then you use the heat gun on it, and that makes a embossed flip thing. You can do lots of things. You can use leftover lids and make circles with heavy paint and leave it real heavy, or use gesso. Even gesso's really heavy, and make mark making things. You can even do glue. I've even seen where people do a glue design on your paper with draw with your glue, your Elmer's glue. Let it dry overnight, and the next day you can color on it. It's so fun. I've done that before. But there's so many things that you can use, and this is just off the top of my desk. And I can't wait to come back and get my desk cleaned off here, and it's almost cleaned off. So, but hopefully, I'll get some of the people in the chat room to help me out a little bit. So,
Awesome.
so
So,
that's
how are you going to be using your prompt list, Beth? Are you going to ask somebody for a number between one and whatever and just count down the list and use it? How are you going
no, 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 no.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let them tell me what you see on my desk, or what would be something at the top of your head, and I might be able to come up with it real quick if it's around here. I'm pretty handy about doing that. But
You
I've got
are.
so much here. If you say string, we'll say I have a piece of yarn here. That'll work for string.
Perfect.
We'll work it out. We'll work out something.
Excellent. 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 All right. Miriam, you want to go up?
Okay.
Hang on. I got to find my cursor.
No, it's okay.
There you go.
Here I am. I have a lot of things here. I hope some of them are going to be useful. So first of all, I have soda cans. I've been processing. Sorry about the noise, but they are noisy. I am going to show you with one of them. So I left there apart. I have metal tape. And I have this tape. This is for wall, I don't know what, drywall, for drywall. So I think this tape could be very useful. And I have a lot of die cuts and embossing folders to use with the soda can and also with my chocolate boxes that I have a lot, even more there. Let me show you the state of my boxes. Even I don't save everything, but I have boxes. I have boxes of nets also, and I'm going to use them as with the die cuts. I will do several of them and put them together, and then I'm going to go with the tape or with this other one and do some emboss, let's say. So that's the plan. Let's see what
Awesome.
happens.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. And
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
all right.
I wanted to talk about texture on, in, and under because,
Woohoo!
like Beth said, it can be everywhere. So, this is one piece that I just going to show you a couple and then show you what I'm going to work on. Um, so, this is just an old spring and some fabric and some paper beads on top of a collaged piece. And what I usually do is use 5x7 canvas board. You can see it on the edge there, I think. Um, and then I liked the look of the wood panels, but they're silly expensive. So I just buy inexpensive stretched canvases and paint the edge black and the little bit of the inside. And then I glue on the canvas board. So that's that one.
I like it.
This one is, can you see that? Did I get
Yes.
it in the screen?
Move it just a little bit for
There we go.
people.
I have
Perfect.
a mark and I didn't even use it. How goofy is that? This is another collaged piece, and I used a piece of wire mesh and strips of hand dyed or hand painted silk and an old pin I had that's made like Miriam had the cans. It's actually made from beer cans, I think. I don't know. I picked it up on a trip one time.
Uh,
That's another idea. And sometimes I make pieces that have a deeper meaning, and somehow it's a way to process how you're feeling. And this one I did after the horrific events in Israel on October 7th.
oh,
And I used the back colors where there's also texture under it. So I sort of do texture everywhere. Are the Israeli flags. And then the hands are the hostages. And they are made from a silicone mold with air dry clay and then pieces of rope.
wow. I remember that one.
You remember that one?
Very
And I made this little one when Russia invaded Ukraine, and all I could think of was the children running from the violence with their
oh,
mothers, and it just broke my heart. The idea that their world was blown apart. So texture can be there, or you can also create. I mean, this is obviously texture on it, but you can create texture by layering paint in different mediums. Like this background doesn't have anything under it. It's layers of paint and gold foil that cracks on the gel plate. So that's another way. So those are some ideas of anything can be put on another piece to make it have texture. And texture to me is what makes the difference between art and I don't want to say craft, but it elevates it. So this is the little piece I'm working with. I showed my little compatriots here this a minute ago. These are 3x3 little stretch canvases that have magnets embedded in the back. And so I'm going to make them as Christmas gifts. And this just had layers of paint. There's no texture paste or anything under there. I don't know if you can see the texture, but I was trying to dry it real fast last night. So I pulled out the heat gun and it bubbled the paint. Now, if you're going to try this, do it outside because acrylic paint is basically plastic. And so you're making fumes. But the sparkly bits are actually old paint that's getting a little bit thick. So that's a good way to do it. And then I'm going to take this little piece of cheesecloth and an old spring, and I stitched it on. And if I'm going to glue on something fairly heavy like this, I mean, it's not terribly heavy, but it is a little bit heavy. I'll use Weldon Bond and just put it on there.
Weld Bond's great for
Yeah.
heavy
Oh,
stuff.
I always say and bond, and it's Weld Bond. There's the bottle. Oh, you get it's like if you ever get a name stuck in your head and then that is its name. That's it.
Yes. I've
Be
been calling
careful with people.
neighbor's kid Bailey because I thought that's what his name was, because my granddaughter went to school with him, and I could have sworn she told me his name was Bailey, so I've been calling him Bailey for like 10 years. And Grabby, his name is Devin.
And that's not even close.
I know. So yeah, to me, he's still Bailey. Whatever.
It's funny how names. I gotta tell you a story about that. When my oldest son was in 5th or 6th grade. I can't remember which. He was in a new school, which for our kids was perfectly normal. But he kept telling me about his friend Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly did this, and I used clothespins to hold that down while it dries. Sean Kelly did this, and Sean Kelly did that, and he's going on every day. And so he finally says, "Can Sean Kelly come over?" And he always called him Sean Kelly. And I was like, "So what do you think of when you hear the name Sean Kelly?"
He's Irish.
Yeah, you thinking like a redheaded Irishman or something, right? So, and he had never told me anything other than Sean Kelly was talented and smart and all these things Sean Kelly could do. So they come, and I had the front door locked, so he had to ring the doorbell. And I opened the door, and there's Sean Kelly, and Sean Kelly is this adorable little African American boy. I was like,
Sounds like a famous name.
yeah, but
Famous.
a part of me was like, wow, that's the one thing he never told me. So obviously it doesn't matter to him.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome. But it was just funny how you have this mental picture.
You do. Definitely. That's like reading a book and then they make it into a movie and you look at the person and you go, that's not him. Exactly.
So this has to dry now if you want to go to someone else.
Okay. I'll go because it's
your turn.
Yeah. Hi, guys. So Miriam's using her embossing folder. Well, I use the embossing folder and do it on things like styrofoam plates. Make sure if you're using styrofoam plates, you wash them first. So I'll run an embossing folder, this through with the embossing folder, and then I use it as a texture plate. So I can either put a piece of paper on and take a pencil or a crayon and, how we used to do rubbings when we were kids. So I'll either do it that way or I'll run paint on it and just use it almost like a stamp. Hi, Maya. Nice to see you, hun. So that's what I do, like with texture plates or, embossing folders, is I create my own texture plates out of various things that I've got. So that's another way to create a little bit of interest. And then, of course, when these are really, really mucky and used up, you can always glue them down and then it's the raised interest, right? Then you've got that little bit of the 3D texture happening. Another thing I like to do is take circles or shape, whatever shape you want. Actually, what would be fun is if you cut a critter or something outside of a coloring book, and then you take little bits of yarn, just snippets of yarn, wipe some glue onto the image, stick the yarn down, and you get little fuzzy dots. Well, these are fuzzy dots. You would get fuzzy critters. Another way that I like to use texture is I make feathers. So I'll either use a wire. The kind of wire I use is like from earphones, that kind of thing, because it's, hi, Anina, nice to see you, hun. So then I use it as the center between two pieces of gel print, and then I just fringe it with scissors. And those glue in really nice. I've also just used yarn for the center part of the feather as well. And then, of course, before you cut it, You can always just add some little shading with pencils. Depends on your gel print. I've got wild colors for my gel print. So Beth was talking about using orange bag. I use onion bag. Same kind of thing as I use it in my clusters. This is a little cluster I did. So it's got woven paper as well, which is another way of doing texture. So you don't have to have bazillion dollars worth of things to make texture. Everything is texture. I'll be showing you a few different things as well because I pulled out some cards. I actually made some texture paste this morning for playing. And the recipe for texture paste, homemade texture paste, is half a cup of baking soda, a tablespoon of white liquid glue, and a tablespoon of white acrylic paint. You mix it up and you get a fair bit. That's going to last me quite a while.
You
Yeah,
can
how
use
long
baby
does it
powder
last?
too.
Pardon?
Baby powder. You can use baby powder
Yes.
too.
I don't have baby powder in the
Or
house.
cornstarch.
Or
Yeah.
cornstarch, or grout, or plaster of Paris, or drywall compound, whatever you've got.
That's right.
You can
And
use
how
whatever
long
you.
will it stay usable?
I don't know. The last one I made,
It never goes bad. If it dries out, you add a little bit of water to it, and it will reconstitute.
yeah,
It never goes bad
no,
unless you've contaminated it and you get a little black spot or something.
yeah,
Is
We
it
don't want
texture
black.
paste or more like modeling paste, like
no,
polish?
no. This is quite liquidy. It's
It's like gesso.
it's thicker than gesso, but
Yes. Yes.
it holds its shape really nicely.
Very nice.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really nice to put through a stencil. I'll be doing
And you
some of
can
that.
add a little color to it if you want.
Oh, definitely.
so you can
And if
yeah.
you've got like old things that you used for icing in the past, like piping bags or piping nozzles, whatever, you can actually pipe this.
Ooh. Is it the consistency of icing, kind of?
It's a little bit thinner, just a little bit thinner, but it holds its shape decently. I mean, if I was to put it in a piping bag, I might add just a little bit more baking soda.
Uh-huh.
But like I say, I put this through one of those, my hole punch things when I'm punching confetti for, my the bin of confetti I've got.
Huh.
So that's just through the holes in a piece of paper, and it held really nicely.
So it has dimension to it when it dries.
It does. It does. I mean, if you're using the stencil, definitely.
That's awesome because when I run out of the commercial stuff, I'll just make my own. Thank you.
Oh, you know what? It's lovely, and it's much more reasonable. And because seriously, you use a half a cup of baking soda or whatever you're using, it makes a fair bit. Because I mean, how much do you use when you're putting it through a stencil? Hey, Raul, nice to see you.
Not
So
much at the time.
while I'm on screen, I just want to remind everybody of the fabulous Streamathon coming up, starting at midnight tonight. Woohoo!
Before midnight because I need to open with Raul half an hour before.
Oh, so it'll be at 11:30.
11:30, yes.
30
I
standard
have
time.
so much problem to know how to put the hours. I did the math backwards. So I thought I need to be 11:30 my time today, and I prepare everything to that. Thank God I have an illumination, and I said, wait a minute, am I right or no? And it's not because I am 7 hours ahead.
Oh dear.
So you have to get up early, not stay up late.
Yeah, exactly. No, I will stay late. No, I don't need to stay late today. You're right.
All right. So the Streamathon is going to be running all the way from 11:30 tonight until Saturday, next Saturday, and it's going from midnight till about 10 o'clock the next, right through the next evening, each of the days except for Saturday. I think it could go to. The schedule is up. I have it someplace. I will be posting it in Meet Your Creativity. And please come and watch the fabulous, fabulous streamers. There's going to be so much to learn, so much to play with. Seriously, guys, it's going to be a marathon of magic.
Bring a pencil and paper so you can take notes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So I'm going to switch back to Beth because Beth's working and I'm going to get some more stuff ready here. And if you've got any questions right now, put them in the about the streamathon, put them in the chat because Raul and Miriam are here and they could answer. All right, Beth, you're up, honey.
Okay. Well, I found some more things on my desk. And do you all ever go out to eat every now and then? Well, sometimes when you go out to eat, like if you go to the roadhouse and get steaks or spaghetti house, sometimes they have these little Crayola kits for the kids. Well, I'm still a kid. I'm still a kid, and sometimes I grab one of these and look at the crayons. They're triangles. So
Those
we're going to
are
use these.
fabulous for doing rubbings.
We're going to do rubbings. We're going to do some melting, and I want to do some melting with these crayons today. And this will be for Happy Mail, so that won't be wasted. And then I also have on laying on my desk. I've got some Punchinelli, and this is like a confetti waste, but they sell it as ribbon, and that's how they make the round confetti, and then they sell this. So the companies never waste any materials, and I'm gonna use it right now, and I'm also going to use this product. It's called Expand Paste, and it's sold by different people. There's several different companies that sell this, so it doesn't matter who sells it that you buy. But I'm going to show it to you. It's got a little protected on top so it doesn't dry out. And once you get that off, you have this this gooey stuff in the container, and you just get a palette knife. This one's not very clean, but we'll just ignore that. And I'm going to take and use some of this texture paste through my punchinelli, and then what we get to do is heat activate it, and it's going to puff up. And this is the first time I've actually used it through a stencil. So this is going to be an experiment. And I just laid it down. Oh, you can see it. You can see it. I'm going to put some more on over here. And it comes in colors if you want to buy the colors, but I think they're pastel colors. And you can even add some paint to this, put a little bit on your palette and add a little bit of paint to it. But it comes out faded when you do use this. But when you use the almond color, it's almond right now. But after I heat activate it, it's going to be snow white, and it's got like you can use it in your art for clouds, and that's kind of like what I'm going for right now is a little bit of cloud coverage. And you can also use it for waves, water, anything white, popcorn, snow peaks, mountain peaks. It's a there. You'll be surprised on all of the different little things that you get to use your expand paste with. And I go nuts with it in the wintertime on my winter pictures all the time. So anyway, I'm done with putting it on, and I'm going to heat activate this so that you all can see what what it looks like. But I always put the lid back on and keep it moist. If it does dry out, you can add a little water to it to reconstitute it, and it lasts forever. And I go through a jar of this about every year, and it is a little pricey. But save your allowance money up and get you some expand paste. If you like mixed media art, you will not regret that. So let me just get this off my
That sounds
hand.
like fun.
And I'm going to hold the book up and I'm going to use my heat gun, and you're going to watch it turn from this almond color, and you're going to watch it turn snow white. Here we go. It doesn't take very long. Here it goes. It's magic.
Wow.
Wow. It's like the old puff paint we had. Remember that?
Yeah.
It's great for snowy days. Uh, I've done popcorn. I've done all kinds of food. I love to do waves with it. Water cap.
Okay, Kim, now you got to figure out how to make a homemade version.
They actually, I just
I
saw an
have,
ad for crayons that are doing that. You just color them and then you use a hair dryer and they puff up like that.
What?
I know. I saw an ad and I went, what is that?
All right, I got to write that down because that would be too much fun with the kids, wouldn't it?
You're
what?
just
Good.
going to have to put it on your Christmas list.
Oh, I don't worry. Oh, goodness.
Tell that again.
It's a crayon and you color with it. And then
Yes.
you use like a hair dryer or heat gun and it puffs up like that stuff that Beth is using right now.
Are they
It's a
Crayola
crayon.
too?
It's a crayon and it comes in different colors. I can't remember. I saw the ad and I was in bed, so half asleep, and it registered but didn't.
Okay, I'll
But if
Google
I
it.
see the ad again, I will definitely send it to you guys.
Now, the first thing I did while you were talking a minute ago, before I put the expand paste on, I used a just a dinner napkin from the kitchen, a little napkin, and I crumpled it up, and I put some glue down, so I've got some texture behind this, and it's nothing but a napkin crumbled up, and then I glued it down, and the blue is a bonus because it was on the credit card when I spread the glue out. So it was a bonus. But I can add color to this. I can paint it, and uh, but that's what I'm doing, and I'll be doing something again in just a few minutes. Come back, come back,
All
and I'll do
right,
something
let's
else.
go see what Miriam's up to. I just need to
Okay.
find the cursor. Cursor. There we go. You're up, hun.
I've been using a rosin folder on this hand, and I did it because it wasn't marked which one, and I was very like in a hurry to try. I put it in reverse, and then I did it on the right side beside it. But you know what? I love that. I love in reverse. And I did a little experiment that somehow failed, but I need to continue with that. That it put drywall tape on the other side and see if that could match. I have some marks. If you see every brick have a little mark like that, it's not very not noticeable, but something happened. So this is one. And now I am going to try the same one with paper and see what happens. And I have some paper.
So
Yeah.
you ran like a soft drink can through that embossing folder,
Yes,
Miriam? That's what you're doing?
this is
Wow.
a can
Long lasting texture.
already open. And this is what I put. If you want to know how to do it, how to prepare the cans, I saved one for demonstration. First, you need to do a little one punch here so you can put your scissors inside. Then you are going to grab scissors that you can put inside there, and you open it all around.
Okay.
And when you finish, you need to do a tidying up because all that pointy parts are really dangerous. This is not dangerous, but the pointy part, yes. So now I choose a place that I can go like that, and I finish opening that. And then if I need to tie it up, I tidy it, I can. But this is what I have left.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So yeah, I am preparing. I have here one box that I was saving to do a journal. You see, it's really I open it and I cut it. And that's one possibility to do here. But I started this junk journal in my stream earlier, and I have a tin can here already with texture. You see, this is all texture. I put it in the same place in the fold, in a fold. Oh, sorry, in a
Oh, yeah.
embossing folder.
Wow.
And I think I want to do this kind of things for this part. So I am preparing material and then I will choose if I do a new one or I stick with the one I have so I can finish one.
Mm-hmm.
But what I didn't glue everything, but since my stream, I took everything out. So now it's prepared to glue the last ones, and I have this ready to rumble. And I am going to use cats also, die cats. I have the round one and the square ones, and those are perfect to. What I don't have here is place to work, room to work, but I used to. So I was interested in in have some embossing powder, like embossing powder DIY, and I went to watch in YouTube several places that have the recipe, recipe, but you need, first of all, it's a long and difficult process, and after, and you need some chemical to buy. So if I buy the chemical that I don't know where I am going to find it, I better buy the bossy powder. That's my thought at least.
All right. And what are you up to?
Well, I have taken a micron pen and I'm kind of shading it a little bit to bring out the look of the texture in the background. And I added some, it's really weird to work this small, some little tiny mark making dots with a copper metallic pen. And I also took this little, I have no idea what this is. I bought one of those metal tool chest with a bunch of drawers in it, and the man said I could clean it out, and I was like, oh no, don't. And it was full of, I said, please don't bother, I'll do it, really, I'm happy, I'll do it. But it's not a rivet, it's like a little hanger, like you could hang something. It has a hole in the bottom.
That is so cute.
I know, and I cut out a picture of my great grandmother. This is Betty Lola McCoy Rayford. It is a reprint, not the original. I do not cut up my original antique family photos. And
No.
I'm going to, no, I don't do that. I'm going to, I put her in the little whatever this is to use it like a frame. And she's going to go, I think I don't want her in the center. Right there.
Adorable.
Oh dear, did I get her on straight? Yeah. Where is a T-square when you need it? It's in there with you.
Not in my house. Hey, Angel Rose, welcome.
So there we go. I think maybe this one's done. Can I hold? Can you see it better that way?
Can you hold it just a little bit closer to the camera?
Wow.
That's fun.
Isn't that fun?
And you use that spring and you sewed it with cheesecloth, right?
Yeah, it's cheesecloth. I dyed a little bit. I don't remember. I think it's rust, but it might just be spray.
Remind me how you did the background, ma'am.
The background is layers of paint and ink and a couple of Seth Astor's spray inks that I have that are almost gone. And then the black one that I put on after the blue was a diamond paint that's getting really, really dry. And then I was trying to hurry up and dry it last night. And I used a heat gun and it bubbled it all.
Ooh.
Which again, do that outside. I did it inside, and it's kind of smelly. And then I realized somebody telling me that those are plastic fumes. So
Yeah.
you really want to do that outside. I will do it again because it's a really cool technique.
I like that. That turned out lovely, blah, 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 blah. You know.
I will give it to my brother and tell him that that's his great grandmother. My grandfather's mother. So that's my great grandmother, right? Yes. So there you go. That's number one. Texture on top. And then I'll show you another piece. That's an example of all kinds of texture stuff. This is what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. It's a plasticky stuff you can stamp on. I'll have to look it up. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway. And then I made this lady as a pin. And then the company that made the faces, which I love, they're metal, they stopped making them.
Oh, no.
I know. And I only got to make 2 of these little pins, one for myself and one for a friend. And her hair is just some yarn and some little beads. And this is felted wool that I did to make her, and then little beads and more felted. This is actually the lint from felting wool in the dryer onto a piece of interfacing and then stitched. So it's pretty much a lot of stuff left over, put together.
I love leftover stuff put together.
No, leftovers are good if they're in the refrigerator or in your art studio, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Anywhere in the house. So there you go. That's another one. So now we'll go on to another idea for texture after someone else.
All right, Beth, are you ready to show?
Oh yeah, ready or not, here we go.
Where's Beth?
Okay, I've been preparing while we've been doing the round robin, and it's a little bit easier for me to pick out what I think would look good on my page. So what I want to show you first is this was a piece of book text, and it looks like a piece of fabric, doesn't it? This was it was from a book, and it was 1907, I think was the date on this book, and it's an old paper, and it's dry, so it's very absorbent. You know, it would hold a lot of liquid. It's a dry paper, and it's also delicate because it's so old. But I took this very piece and I wadded it up just like this about 5 times, and gently unfurl it. And this is what you get. I did the same thing with this the napkin that I did on the back of the expand paste for the sky. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make some birds. And if you ever watched Kim, and if you don't watch Kim, you should, because the other day she started making little wonky birds, and I have been doing nothing but birds ever since. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in the shape of a bird, or what I'm how I'm going to make my bird. And you can I'm just going to cut it, and it's going to be like an egg shape, and
All
then
right, a wobble cut. Here we go.
a what?
Wobble cut.
A
No
wobble cut.
pattern. No
So
pattern.
this
You're
is
wobble
this is going to
cutting
be a bird here in a few minutes. And while I'm making the bodies of the birds, I do have some tissue paper. And this is how I did the napkin on the sky. And I watered it up. And then you spread it out a little bit, and you can water it up again. And there's a term that you can make cloth paper with this technique, and you use a little bit of oil. I'm not using oil today. It's too delicate for tissue paper. But anyway, I'm going to make another another birdie body, a bird body.
it. Here we go with bodies again.
We're going to
We're
do
all
with
about the bodies here, guys.
we're going to do some birds today. So that's all I need that. Then I bought some of this netting off of the internet on Amazon, and I have no idea what it's called, but it's I'm sure they make it in sheets and then they cut them in this size to sell to you.
Oh,
And
fun.
it's a texture, and it's going to be really cool for Halloween. Wouldn't that be great for Halloween? And maybe for the ocean, a net in the ocean, underwater mermaid type thing. But I'm going to use the background of this for a bird. I'm going to use it for a bird, and I might even put it on top of this one. I could.
Okay, fun.
So
That'll
I'm just going to try to cut this little birdie out, a body, just a body, and then we're going to make the heads in a minute, probably the next round.
all right. All right.
But that's this one. I'm going to put that on that bird, and we got this bird, and then I have some galls, and you can get this galls in the cooking department. It's for cheesecloth. It's the same as cheesecloth galls, and I'll show you the package. It's not very expensive, and it lasts you for years. This one package will last you for years. It's 100% cotton, and it's good for basting, canning, and you put make your little seasoning pouches with it and stuff like that. But I use it in my art room, and it's great for under the water, under the sea. It's great for Halloween. It's all kinds. There's all kinds of things. I just love it. I love it. But anyway, I'm going to make a bird out of one of these, and you can color it. You can tone it, give it a tone, and so these are some of my birds that I'm making. I think I'll just do 3 birds today, and then when we come back, I'll show you how I might have these down, and then I'll show you what we're going to do for the heads of our little birds.
Awesome.
So I'm going to work on this while you're going around.
Okay, I go up next. Find the cursor. All right. So while the ladies were playing, I used some of that modeling paste through one of my stencils. I'm going to be cutting this into 3 separate journal cards. Sometimes it's just easier to work on one at a time, like a big one, and then cut it. So I've got these almost dry already. Like I can touch them; they're not squishy. So yeah, that modeling paste works lovely through a stencil. That stuff. So what I've been doing what else I've been doing is I like taking bits of cardstock, lightweight cardboard from packaging, like a tea box when you buy boxed tea or crackers or whatever. It's lightweight. And I like making stacks of shapes like this. And then I will glue them down. And when you paint them, you've got those little bits of texture. It's flat. You can put uh, whatever. I just like making these little bits of scraps. And I'll use any kind of cardstock. I've done it out of paper too. It's a much lower profile, and they're not all equal, but it works. So that's what I've been doing. Hey, Dana, welcome, hun. Dana, you want to put your link in, please?
Hi, Dana.
Dana also will be part of this streamathon coming up. Beth
Yes,
is part of it, and Anne and I will be streaming together. Oh, I'm fuzzy. Um, who else is here that's part of this streamathon? If you can please pop in your links, or if Raul can pop in your links, I would really appreciate that. All right, let's head back to Miriam.
oh, I'm doing the same thing but in different materials.
Same thing, different pile.
I use the box of chocolate because this folder is large and narrow. So I use this and I use on the can too. It's really good on the can. And it will be good for Halloween too. So, whoa, I have an idea. I can prepare my dry journal for Halloween. Could be a Halloween young journal.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. Preparing myself for Halloween.
I love
I
Halloween.
won't do anything for Halloween. But yeah, I just now I put some tissue paper. I don't know if you are going to see it. I might use the same folder with another kind of paper
Thank you, Dana.
so we can see, not only imagine. Oh, I have this. Maybe I can hold it. No, still not. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I need to find something to put there, and I have a lot of things here, so I might use one. After I use and I emboss, I can come with makeup or fantasies that I don't have, but you have, or all sorts of things. Let's see. Here we have this, and I have also some paper. So let's see paper. Twenty papers I want. 20 papers, where are you? Oh, this is a dentistry box. I might use that now. Let's see. This is not narrow, so I can use it. Let's do it like that. I am going to cut a little bit so I can emboss it. But anyway, this is all for now. I'm doing the stem. Let's see what happens with this embossed one. And after that, I'm going to try with napkins. I have some interesting napkins. And then to cut, I need to die cut from that. Because I have another way to do it. It's embossing, manual embossing with metal, and I need something behind it to use to emboss it. So I will do it. let's see what happened with our dentifrice box. Oh, yes. You can see
Oh, I like it.
Ooh, that's
have a butterfly and flowers, and you can paint, you can rub, you can do sorting, and you can do all at once. Let me show you. Let's grab some. Yeah, what? I know what. I have some new ink pads. So let's use it on this one. Let's see, we have the green. I need the green, and I need like this one that is green. So I am going to grab some green, and I'm going to go on where I have here I have some leaves, and I can grab some other color of green and put in this other one. And then I am going to grab another one too, so I don't need to clean it now. And I'm going to grab the pinks, and I'm going to put pinks on the flowers. Oh, this is too. It will work. Anyway, if you have a weather applicator, like we have here some, let me grab someone here. This is a good applicator too. So you grab the color and you put whatever you need. And let's put another color for the butterfly. And I see I skipped some of the leaves. And the leaves also. This way you can discard that also, and you don't contaminate your things. So I am not doing this wow, but you know, on a stream it's very difficult to do things. But I need some bluish one. Let's grab some blue and put on the butterfly. Okay, now it's everything in. So now magic time. Let's grab something white to put in here. So you already can see the colors. Oh, I forgot one leaf here and there. And I don't have, let me see. But it will have color. And as it is, you put your folder in the machine. Set. Okay. Oh no. Out. There. Let's see. I'm going to do it fast because if not, it's going to move again. Yeah. You see, I don't have room. The real estate in this studio, it's really pricey.
I wonder if anyone has a studio that's too big for their stuff. That would be a miracle, wouldn't it?
Do you know what, Anne? My entire basement is my studio, and I still don't have enough room.
Yeah, me.
Okay. This is one, and then you can come back and do that very good. And other thing you can do is to put, let's say, I am cleaning this because you need to clean every time you use, unless you are going to do the same, so you build layers. So that's clean. I am going to put some other color in here, like for instance, coffee. Coffee will be a good color. And I'm going to go with my pad, not for the part, for all the rice pad, right? Rice pad. You see, I put the color coffee. And now I am doing embossing again with that. For minimal. Cut it then. Okay, so I am doing this again. Magic. And now we have this. And if we want, we could come with more of that Q-tip, more, and use the inks on the right part. So the flowers, can you see me now?
Better. Thank you. I was just about to say that.
Uh, so your flowers, and you can paint different colors if you want, or you
Hey,
can paint.
Janet Nash. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, Janet, how are you, dear?
Janet also will be part of the streamathon, I believe.
No, she can't. I'm so sorry that she
Oh,
can't.
no, she can't. Okay.
No, Beth is going to go in that country. I'm being doing the schedule one time after time
I
with
know.
with everything. You didn't read it.
You know, I know that you put the last one up, and I just haven't been around. I haven't looked. The final one is now up.
The final one is in the chat in the
Okay.
post I made in my community tab, and I think in Raul's too.
Okay.
You can't escape, baby.
Yeah, I will copy and paste that if you don't mind into.
You can say I didn't know.
I don't know, but I have to look because my times have changed too.
Well, you can say it then. Your times, I think, are the same, but better watch it. I
Yeah,
don't want anyone that when we want to go to see, it's not there.
yeah, nope. I have to. I'll just double check. That's all. We'll be good. I'll be good.
That's okay. I am afraid for Jasper that she didn't intervene all the time in the chat. So maybe it's better to talk to her because she is second after Beth.
Yeah,
I will, I will go for anyone that for any circumstance can't. Okay, it's not the people that watch will have all the indications and they will have this thing. But I will hope to see Jasper or
yeah.
oh yes, it's an important job here. But you know, I will be so glad if we could have Janet. But can be, can't be. What can I say? Janet knows that I did everything I could, and I am sad. Oh yes, it will be another time when we have more experience also, Janet. Those are methods for cat making that I don't do usually. I can do that, but not that I am a cat maker. But I love it even for a gun journal or for a journal or whatever you need.
That's very pretty, Miriam. All right,
Yes,
Anne, are you ready for us to come visit you?
Sure, come on
I,
over.
All right.
Right. So now we're talking about texture under other stuff like hidden texture. And this is one, I don't know if you can see it, but there's texture under the collage material. And I don't know what this was made with, to tell you the truth. It was quite a while ago. So that's one example. Here's another one where there's texture. This is, if I turn it sideways, does that help? I don't. There's
I can see
texture
it
that
up there. That's lovely.
you can see it. Okay. And then this one has texture that at first I didn't like at all. Here it was from the edge of a stencil, like a offcut, basically. And here, but then after I started working with it, I really liked it. So normally these I would do with like Kim was using like texture paste or modeling paste, but because that has to dry, I decided to try the glue gun. And this is a trick I learned from someone else in a class, is that if you want to make marks or emboss or anything and some kind of pattern, maybe not specifically, but you can use a stencil that way. So what I did was lay the stencil down, and this poor old glue gun, it's about to die. Decided to use the glue gun. Well, it's lived a long, full life and been abused in multiple kids groups, youth groups, you know.
Yep.
That's okay. So I did that to do dots, and then did it along the edge to make little marks there. And they're going to be covered up, which is one of those things you have to kind of wrap your head around, that you're going to do it and then cover it up and keep covering it up until you're happy with it. And then you put it on the wall, and 6 months later you pull it down and go, still not happy with that. I think I'll do this. So,
I
but
know that feeling well.
yeah, you know that feeling. Yeah, it kind of, if I change it too much and my husband notices, he doesn't like change, which is a hard thing to be married to me, I'm sure, because
Yeah, Ron wouldn't be able to survive if he didn't like change, because my word.
we just get too bored. So for this, because I'm using prints that are done on tissue, on the Carnival wet strength tissue paper, I'm going to use matte medium. Don't ask me where I got this big bottle. I think somebody gave it to me. But I put gloves on because this is, at least this is my understanding, this is basically what acrylic paint is without the pigment. I think that's right. And it's super sticky. If it gets on your fingers, you are going to be peeling that stuff off. At least I am, because I'm sloppy, for weeks. But
Have you met me?
yeah. Well, I have color. I have to check every time I go to the doctor. I have to check my hands and my fingernails, or out somewhere. But this
There,
stuff really does work the best, I think, for tissue paper. It is not going to come off, and it's really thin, so you can, but you don't want to use a good paintbrush. That's my other trick, is do not use a good paintbrush, and do not use your good, if you use, like I have paint pucks for my cleaning water, and you don't want to put it in there either, or you'll be spending forever cleaning it off. So what I'm going to do is lay down one gel print over the whole thing and smush it down. And this is another case of it's going to get covered up, but it works pretty well if you put a whole cover down. And I'll leave it bigger than the canvas, because I'll wrap it after I'm done.
awesome.
And if it wrinkles, you don't care, because that's just more texture. The other thing about acrylic matte medium is you can also put it over the top to seal it up. So what I'm going to do is get this down, maybe, if I can, because of course, when you're doing it in front of other people, it's not going to work right.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I have to do things in private. That sounds I only perform in private. But you get it smashed down however you want it. And then you have that texture under there. And then I'm going to take a bunch of other little scraps and start covering it to make a collage. And flatten it down in there. It will flatten down as it dries, or you can keep smushing it. It's a good way to take out aggressions. Like if you're frustrated with somebody, just yeah, this is their face. This is what I'm doing. Now I have a tendency to start doing this, make stripes. So I'm consciously turning this one this way so that I don't do that. I don't know about anybody else, but do you end up like starting at one side, and then end up with the middle naked or something? So I'm going to see if I can fix that problem and put one in the middle to begin with. So I just keep layering it up, smushing it down with paintbrush. And it doesn't really matter after that much. You just keep going. There is, that sort of rule that in odd numbers, the human eye likes odd numbers. And there's a thing I learned when quilting that, and it applies to art too, I found, to give it continuity. Like if you make the 3 lines here, those 3 lines need to be somewhere else or something similar to it, because it makes the eye go around it and go, oh, there's 3 more lines. That's nice. Like they don't necessarily notice it, but it's there. This is so little. It's funny, isn't it? It's like,
I like working little.
Yeah, this is really little for me. Like little tiny pieces to be a good use for your little teeny tiny scraps.
I love little teeny tiny scraps.
I know you do magical things with little teeny tiny scraps. I just
Yeah.
tend to end up with them all over everywhere. That's what I do with them. They're floor confetti. I just made that up. Do you like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do.
That's what I'm going to tell my husband. It's not a mess, honey. It's floor confetti. It's a party. Don't you see it?
Yeah, I like that too.
That's
All
what
right.
we have. We have desk confetti and floor confetti.
Perfect. Beth,
Yes.
are you ready to show us what you're up to, honey?
Oh yeah.
All right. We're
I've
moving
been
on.
busy. Busy, 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 busy.
All right. Oh, look at the birds.
Now, I want
Birds.
Wow.
I got to tell you something. If you have, in these days and times of our lives right now, you're seeing more and more things in people's backyards. And I just happen to have some neighbors that have chickens.
Hmm.
Oh,
And so I asked the little girl if she would bring me a shoebox full of chicken feathers. And she did, and I went through them and cleaned them up a little bit. And these are some of the chicken feathers that I've gotten from her chickens. And she had different kind of chickens, the
oh,
variety.
fun.
And so I've got lots of feathers. So
Wow.
I picked out the smallest ones and I put them on the birds already. Here's the texture with the old textbook paper with that blue netting on it, orange tissue paper, and the gauze. And I think I'm going to drop some color onto the gauze, and it'll absorb and maybe make him like a polka dot belly.
Oh,
And I thought about that. And then someone said in my stream yesterday that you could use wool. And I just happen to have some wool yarn. This is wool yarn. And some of you all know that I do felting with roving wool. And the way I do felting with this particular wool, I recycled it and fluffed it out and it looked like a ball of fuzz. I would get long streaks of it, and I would just tear it up like this, and then I can felt with it with my needles, and it felts. It's a good texture with in your creations and things. But anyway, I used the wool yarn on their legs, and I'm sorry I can't. Let me see here. There we go. So they've got wool yarn on their legs, feathers for their wings, and then I have these googly eyes that I bought on Amazon. They're wonderful. I use them all the time. And they're great for Happy Mail and stuff too. So I've got their eyes on stickers. That's on my list. And I'm going around, I'm yellowing out all of the things that we did on the list. Yesterday, when I streamed, everybody in my chat room, I said, okay, we're going to do a list, textures. And I said, blur them out. So they typed them in and I wrote them all out. And these are all the textures that they came up with. So yarn is going to be yellowed out and wool because I'm using wool yarn and stickers. And then I used some recycled paper that I had in my possession, just some scraps, like in it was just scrap paper, and it was going to be throwaway. So I used it and made their beaks out of paper. And that's all I've done for this round. And I'll have some more. And another thing is, do you ever make paper clip flags? This is a popular item that people do, been doing it for years and years and years. I did not make it up, but it's just a simple paper clip with some fabric on the end of it. And then you take it and you just put it at the top of your page, and it just looks cute. It just looks cute up there. And it's great when your book's closed too. So, but anyway, that's the textures that I've done this round.
all right.
How do you clean the
Oh,
feathers,
oh,
Beth? That's what I
one
want.
more. Huh?
How did you clean the feathers?
The feathers were brought to me in a box,
How'd you
and
clean them?
I just wiped them off and got all of the barnyard stuff out of the way, and there was straw and grass, and she just picked up. She didn't. And I just picked out the clean ones, and then the rest of them I pitched. But I got a lot out of the box, and then these are the little the little down feathers, and I've got down feathers on this little bird over here, and I might put a little piece of down feather in a sprig of this in their hair at the top of their head, something like that. Make him like an Indian. Look, he's going to be an Indian chicken. But you can do anything you want with the feathers, and but that's how I'm doing the feathers. But she brought me a whole shoebox full, and they were all different kind of colors and browns and such. So if you see anybody with a chicken house in their backyard, just kindly ask. I'm sure they would let you.
Real
May I
cool.
have some of your chicken feathers?
Very awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
I will go. So, what I have done is I have now painted the uh, modeling paste that I put through the stamps, through the stencil. So, it gives a really nice texture. I can dry brush them. The paint was still wet, so I didn't dry brush them yet. And then I did this one. You can see the risers of the little squares, rectangles of cardstock that I built. These are really a lot of fun if your very final one is an inchy that you have embellished. It just kind of gives them a little bit of a platform and stuff like that. So then I was playing with another piece, and I put down some green tissue paper, and now I am using just some of my pressed paper flowers that I made way back.
Wow.
Pressed paper flowers.
Those are pretty.
You do them in silicone molds, right? Anyway, there's a tutorial on my site someplace for how to do them. If you can't find it and you would like to try them or learn them, shoot me a message, and I will definitely play with that on one of my streams. So I will be coloring these, but again, they're raised. They're definitely not flat. The other thing to be aware of is something like this. If you're putting it in a pocket in the journal, it's adding bulk. It's adding a heck of a lot of bulk. So, all right. So that's kind of all I have been up to while the ladies have been playing. Let's see who wants to go up, or let's just put us all up for a while, and we can just visit and work. And if anybody would like to see somebody up close and personal, then put it in the chat and I will do it. Chicken conspiracies. Yes. Well, thank you, Janet. Thank you. Okay, so what else do you guys use for texture? What do you guys use for texture? You guys are Hey, Chris, welcome. Nice to see you.
Chris?
Oh, Miriam, if you are doing a Halloween journal, you need one.
What?
If you're doing a Halloween journal, you need to do one of these guys. Let me just grab a piece of paper. Okay. And it's a bookmark that sticks over the top of your page.
Yeah.
And goes hiding behind a fence.
Lovely.
Like that.
What is it? Hidden clip or magnet?
No, it's just paper. So you cut the body out twice, and then you make a little fence.
Okay.
So the page just slides in, and you glue the two sides together, pop up like I do my cats.
Heaven. Okay.
They remind me of that neighbor on that show, wasn't it Home Improvement with Tim Allen?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I originally started doing my cats, that's how I was doing them with fences, right? And now I just do the heads and the paws. So anyway, you need to do some peaky ghosts.
Have you seen that one? I saw it. I can't. I think it's Andrea Nelson does it with watercolor, where well, she used acrylic, where you put like a black background or dark blue, and then you put a semicircle of white paint, and then just scrape it down, and it makes the funniest ghosts.
Oh, cool.
I
No.
did them for cards last year, like family portraits.
Yeah. No, I just wobble cut my ghosts. Oh, napkins. Yeah, definitely.
You know, I have a whole box full of napkins, and I never use them. I don't know why. I just don't.
Oh, I've got lots of napkins. I use them. I've been using them as page backgrounds.
Although I have to say, this blue guy came from an IKEA napkin cut up.
Okay.
Because my kids didn't want to use them because they were too creepy. They have like eyeball shapes on them.
You know, I love eyeballs. I love eyeballs. Pardon? See, in my Halloween spread, I've got floating eyeballs all over the place too, and just a bunch of ghosts.
I have a real glass eye. Like I got not in my body. I mean, I have an old one. Surprise. And I can't figure out. Not
Let
sure.
us see. Yeah.
No, I have both real eyeballs in my head, thankfully, still. But I haven't figured out what to do with it yet.
Okay, speaking of eyeballs, I have to go and get one of my eyeballs. I'll be right back.
Okay, you go get an eyeball. But some people think the glass eyeball would be gross to use, but I don't think so. Not like it's a real human eyeball. A body
Just
part.
a marble.
Kind of, yeah. That's true. Okay, so now I'm just smushing everything down to make sure it's good and stuck. Then it has to dry. And another coat of matte medium. And the good thing about the matte medium is it really acts like a varnish. So it protects it longer term. Not that anyone's going to pass it down through the generations or anything, but one never knows, right?
You never know, because my daughter actually wanted my mother's dentures when my mother passed. It's the strange things these children ask for. But
Dentures? Wow, I never thought of that.
yeah, I had an order to crochet a bunch of these eyeballs for a friend,
Oh, yeah.
and I fell in love with them. So
Yeah.
I had to make some for myself, and I've got them peeking out all over my living room now. And this one I keep loose so that I can throw them at the grandkids and yell, "I've got my eye on you," whenever anybody's kind of acting up a little bit. So I love eyeballs.
What was the friend going to do with those?
What am I'm leaving them in my living room to watch people.
But what was the friend going to do with them?
Oh, she's just going to give them to other people as gag gifts kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I just wondered if there was like some lofty purpose for them.
Well, she had originally thought of cat toys out of them. And I said, no, not with all the strings and stuff. It's cats chew on it. Can't do it. Can't make cat toys like that. So she still wanted them. So but yeah, I'm thinking at Christmas, at Halloween time, I could have these lying in the grass and stuff. Just for the heck of it.
And put a little dot of glow in the dark paint in the
Well,
eye.
see, the thing is I used to have a whole string of ping pong balls that I painted into eyeballs
Oh, that'd be cute.
on a strand of lights, and I had it wound through the tree so that some of them had oval eyes, some of them were round, like I blacked out whatever. and had all these eyeballs going in the tree. And then my granddaughter borrowed them for one of her birthday parties, and I never did get them back.
Hmm.
You know, it's
That
okay.
happens.
But yeah, I love eyeballs. They're a lot of fun.
You can buy eyeball candy too.
Yeah.
See, that would be an interesting sociological study. Like if you had really creepy or weird, unusual things in your yard, would you be less of a target for like package thieves and, you know, like random stuff like that? Because they're thinking this person's cray cray.
Well, my yard's pretty eclectic.
Do you have people coming in your yard?
I actually do have people coming in my yard because I've got that big mural on the door in the garage,
Oh yeah.
the Nada door, and neighbors with little kids bring them over to look at it, and I try to get them to tell me stories about the dragon and stuff on the door. And some of them are getting really good at telling me stories about what's going on.
Oh,
I'm
that's a fun exercise for the
I
kids.
am loving it. I'll be honest.
That's
Neighborhood
fantastic.
story lady. They'll be wanting a story every week.
Yeah.
But having them come up with the story, wow,
Well, I
that's
used to do that with the grandkids all the time. It's story time, and I just love it.
I found when I was cleaning up starting to clean out my sewing studio, a book of quote unquote poetry that one of my kids made when they were about 7, I think. But the funniest thing is the first page in big printed letters is copyrighted. I was like,
Oh,
how did he know about copyright?
that's awesome.
He was 7.
That's awesome.
But it's an illustrated book of poetry.
That's fabulous.
Isn't that funny though? I
As
thought,
long as you're not selling it, it's okay.
So, Anne, did you make copies of it and give it to his kids for
I
Christmas?
haven't yet, but that's a good idea. They're coming to visit. The kids are. Those are the ones that live in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I thought we'd read it, like do a dramatic reading of it.
Oh yeah, that would be such a blast.
But I think that's a good idea to make copies of it for them. Because he won't do it. He'd be like, yeah, that's just garbage. Yeah, I have quite a bit I have paintings he did and other things.
Yeah. I had all my good stuff too, and I did them scrapbooks out of it. Well, more along the lines of junk journals,
Uh-huh.
and made them cry when they got them. But they're girls, right?
They're girls. Yeah, they're not.
Big difference.
The problem is boys are oftentimes they don't care as much, or if their wives don't care, it's going out.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would want it or not. I did give them a couple years ago, like a big packet of stuff of theirs and said, here, it's yours now. Do what you want with it. Like, we just can't keep everything anymore. I'm trying to convince myself of that anyway. Okay, I think I'm done gluing. So now I have to set it aside and dry it. Or get it to dry. See, I wrapped everything around the edges, so now the edges are finished, and then I'll trim it. But you don't want to trim it when it's wet, because sometimes there's some, I don't know if it's shrinkage or just readjustment goes on, and if you cut it, then you end up having to do more later. And that's a pain. I don't like doing that. I like it done.
Yeah.
When it's done, it's done. I want it done.
Chris got some wonderful decorations, back to school decorations and stuff from the local Walmart. She was saying she got some stackable ghost pencils. Those sound interesting.
Those are awesome. Wall's a writer.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I've done a lot of writing too. Okay, I'm going to set that aside, and then I'll show you a couple more examples now that I can put this away.
Hey, should I make you big?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. I don't. That's up to you.
Anybody need to go big? See what's happening with you?
So here's one that has texture under the paint. This is paint and texture on it. That's what you do with all of your excess beads and stuff. You just pile them on there. Like, no, not really.
Excess beads? What's that?
Like like little beads I had, and
Yeah, I
this
know.
bead. Yeah, I know. We don't have that, do we, Kim? We don't have any
I
excess.
do not have any excess beads.
You do not? Okay.
No,
No. Okay.
I hoard them. I hoard them.
I found some more this week. This one is paint with, this is a stencil. This is how they were talking about using a stencil. And this is a stencil. So it gives you the hint of a design without being in your face so much. Let's texture under for me. Now someone else can go big and I'll go get the next.
Okay.
You can tell I like
Miriam, you're big.
Oh, hi.
You're big.
Okay. So I am preparing my folder. This is the punk folder that could go to Halloween too. I did some things. Let me show you before I do that. That you saw several times. So I have my, this one you saw, this you saw. Now, this is how I did the two of them.
Oh, they're
You know,
pretty. Look how
I
pretty
need
they are, guys.
they're nice, huh? And then I went to Christmas too. And I did one in a chipboard and the other in a cardstock. And now I'm going to go ping pong with it. Let's put things aside. This tape doesn't need to be here. And the other thing, so I can. It's very important that you have the room to work. I don't want to be tidy because I'm not a tidy crafter. But at least could be able to work. And sometimes you need to, well, I hope it's in the right direction because this one also doesn't have a pattern like the paint on one side. But what I am going to do is, okay, this is not good. This is a very, very sturdy. So, I thought it would be okay, but yeah. Sometimes you need to take out something to do other things. So I want to have enough material to cut. That's why I am doing several things. Some of them will be cut, some of them no. Thank you, Anina. Let's see. Well, of course, I did it upside down. With the other side. What I can do is to mark with something the side. I don't know with what, but I need to make a mark or something. Let's do it with a marker. So I know which side because this one is like ruined. I cannot also if only if I paint it this part. And this one I did it upside down too and it's ruined too. So I don't have any more. Oh, I have one. Let's do this one on the right side. Please. I want to see, and I will try to put something else. Let's see if I can do it. No, no, it's not going to go. So maybe like that. So I also I still have something on it. That's the thing with the materials. When they are not consistent, you have problems. And I said I'm going to do hand embossing. I need some material for that. But I can do it with the pen.
Mhm.
Let's see. Oh, now it's more likely. But I need to find something, maybe a cardboard or something to put because it's not all the way, you see. Anyway, it's pretty enough. That's it. Another one. Now I am going to put everything. Ah, and this one, you saw it already. I need to paint. I am going to cut something because I want to do some cutting, and then I am going to put everything down. What is this? This is C. Ah, I see. I can use this one for over this, and that will do the exact pressure. So let's come back with that. There is a way that you can put things in the same place because you can align easily the things. And then I am going to use a thicker one in order to have some better result. Oh, it's not working with the thicker one. I cannot believe it. No, it's not working.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Well, I need some parchment or something like that. Let's use some film. Because it needs still a little bit more. Well, I have here one that is complete. Let's say I did it.
I did it.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Let's grab some. Okay. Well, maybe this one, this will do something. Not, don't know what, but something. Okay. You need to find something. Ah, this is working. Working, working. You can feel it because it's resisting. If it goes too easy, it's because it's not doing anything. So what I put is a piece of foamy that I had somewhere, somewhere. Miriam, what happened to you? Oh yeah, but I think this part it's a little bit. It's something happened with the folder because it's consistent where it's not doing it. But you see, now we have it. I don't need to cheat with this one. We have it. Okay, so let's see. I will try this one. This, I don't know if I can do something with it, but let's try it. Because my experience with Pony is that it's not embossed enough. It's not marked enough. But we can see. Let's try it. Hmm, I'm dying to know. Wow. Yes, it is. You can appreciate that because it's very tricky and the like. Even if I put that, but let me tell you, it had a very nice dent here. Why we use it? Because it have the adhesive one. Well, well, that's the part of that. Let's go to all my folders here. We use them all. So I can, you see, this is my folder. Folder. This is my folders folder. Now, let's do some cutting. That's the fun. I have my squares. Very funny. These squares are so important. Oh, thank you, Raul. I have the little one, but since I have this one, thank you, Janet. Oh, Jen, how are you? Angel, hi. So I have the little one that is handy, but it has different limitations. So since I have this one, I use this. Let's find two, because I need to separate everything here. Um, this is big, and then we can put a window on it.
Okay, Chris, have a great day.
I'm going to put a window. That's the exact use that I want for these ones. Let's say I want to do a pocket with a window. So I can do like that and put them on the place they need to go, like for instance this one, and put a piece of tape because you can use tape on that, like this one, painter's paint, tape, painter's tape. You don't need more, you don't need much, you need a little bit to put it in place. That's it. Okay? And then I'm going to put the other one really trying to be where I want. Not necessarily need to be in the center. I want that this opportunity. You can measure. I didn't. This have more than the other, so I can see that with my eyes. I have another method to measure. It's easy to see. I put, and here I can see that it's not. That's equal. That's everything. That's my method. So now we have that position because that goes like that. And I am going to grab some paper, never mind which one in this case. I can use this tail. Where is my tail one? I can find my tail one. That's not a good way. Yeah, yes, here. This is a tail one. This is a tail one. I can use them. I can use this to cut. I don't necessarily need it, and I want the cut to be in the front. So I am putting that, and where is my... What I did is I did something that, and now I am putting this here, and I can secure it with another one because I don't want to fight with materials. I do prefer fight with this.
What am I mixing here?
Well, I am fighting anyway. The state is
Oh,
not
everyone,
okay.
I missed Raul saying hi to people I don't uh, recognize. Welcome, welcome to the channel. Beth, are you ready for us?
I am.
All right, we're
Just
on
had,
Beth.
just had a little craft lunch, but everything's okay.
Good, good.
I'm okay.
Darn craft lunches, I tell you.
So, it's all good. It's all good. Okay. So anyway, while you've been gone, I have used stickers. I had eyes for stickers too, but I added the butterfly. I added some chalk in the background on my dinner napkin, uh, or lunch napkin, and I added some chalk blue, and you can see the expand place. It looks like I'm white out right now. Let's see if I can fix that. Causing that to white out. I can come down a little bit. So anyway, I added home. That's my word for the day is home. And I added some hair to these two guys.
Wow, sorry about the noise.
And
They need to
I
say
did
hi.
I did some mark making on their hairs. And these two I've got little hats and feathers on them. I got to do something for this one yet. And I did down here at the bottom. I I did watercolor paint in the background, and I did green crayons down at the bottom for the grass, and I also melted some green wax on here for texture in the grass. And then I've got a piece of ribbon right here, piece of ribbon, and I've got a piece of washi tape. And over here on this corner, I've sewed a little bit on the border. I've got a green paper clip, and I've got an Be Awesome washi tape.
Awesome.
Everything I've got on here is textury. Also put the mushrooms on there. These are flat back mushrooms. They're polymer clay, and I bought them at a yard sale. And so the mushrooms are on there, and those are the good mushrooms, and they're just picking around them. They like to eat the bugs off the mushrooms. So,
Chickens.
and I got a bumblebee up here. I'm gonna mark on the bumblebee and give it some markings, and and I think that's about it right now. And this page is full, unless I can find something else in the room to put on there. But I can also go over my list, and I can count how many of these I've done. The napkin, thread, die cuts, stencil, ribbon, that's 5, tissue paper, 6, mark making, 7, paint, 8, tape, 9, crumpled up paper, 10, gauze 11, stickers 12,
Awesome.
13, 14, 15. Paper clips, wool. I used the wool, and I used chalk. That I had to add that. And then that's 15. Expand paste is 16. Sewing 17. Yarn, the eyelash yarn 18. And trash was the beaks where I got the. I was going to throw that paper away, and I used it to make their beaks, and that makes what I what I go 20, 19, at least 19 or 20
Wow.
items,
That is that.
and
That's
that,
it's a
my
good
dears, is
and just
texture.
realizing.
There is an example of texture, and there's more.
Wow.
That's obvious. That's just like so
Awesome.
wonderful.
So yeah, it's fun, and we did it. And you can always doodle a little bit more. Doodle on the V.
Mhm.
So and and I know that everybody can probably think of one more thing I could put on here. I just feel it. I just know
Button. A button.
That's what I was
a
thinking.
button, and I can do a button. I sure can, and I can probably show you a little bit of my buttons. You would love it. I was going to put some pastels on here too.
Oh yeah.
My buttons. I've got some picture buttons over
Picture
here,
buttons.
and I've got pom poms. I've got there's another butterfly. I could put that another butterfly on there. He could be flying around, and got all kinds of things in my button box. There's a penguin,
I see.
some more butterflies. I've got little people, little baby dolls in here, hearts,
Oh
handmade,
yes.
handmade,
Very cool.
and but I got lots of those. Uh, well, I guess I used to have lots of picture buttons in here. I've used a lot over the years, and there's obviously a lot of butterflies in here. I've got a bunch of butterflies, and I'll put that one on. And sometimes I have cats and other little critters in there, but I've used them. I've used them all. But like there's a funny button. Here's a
I love
button.
that one. I love that foot button. That's
Heart.
fun.
There's heart buttons, and but I found the butterfly button, so that's good enough for now. Oh, here's a bunny button, and I
That's
sewed it on a piece of lace to
that's
make
fun.
a cluster. So you can create anything you want. You can make a tree out of buttons or a bush. I got pom poms in there and big old googly eyes and just all kinds of cute things in here. But I'll use this butterfly button. That'll be 20 items on my page.
That's excellent. Excellent.
20 items.
See, that would be a fun thing to do. How many items can we put on a page?
Well, that's what I kind of
Oh,
did this morning. I could probably go on, but I think it looks cute just like it is, and I don't want to ruin it.
Definitely.
Sometimes you just have to stop. Janet's saying, "Go, Beth, go." Thank you, Raul. And beads. I was going to put some seed beads and maybe put some little seed beads up here for something, something. Or I could put some yellow seed beads down here. I can also use sesame seeds or bird seed down here for them to pick at,
Oh yeah.
bird feed. And I do have a little jar of bird seed, and I'm trying to think what I've done with it. Haven't seen it for a while. But Joe has bird seed. I'll have to get him bring me in a little tub of bird seeds. But I might be able to find some uh, yellow beads in my bead box, which I just happen to have at my fingertips. If anybody wants to see the bead box. But here's some yellow beads. I could put some.
Lovely
I'll
beans.
put some yellow beads down here for the. I've got some yellow beads, and I'll put some yellow beads down there for bird seed while you all go talk to the others. Anybody else
Well,
got anything to show?
and you ready to go up?
Yes, ma'am.
You're up.
Yes, ma'am. I'm up. Okay, so the top is almost dry, but not quite. But the sides are dry enough to trim the little piece. And I wasn't happy with the edge. I'm still not completely, but there was a lot of guck on the wood between the magnet and the edge. So, answer in life, Sharpie. I just covered that wood with Sharpie. So that's going back to the drying hole over here. And I'm going to go on to texture in the paint. Now, this is unusual for me to have anything this big, but it was a canvas I had, and I thought it had, I don't remember, it had a stupid print on it. And one night I just got after it, and there's no, I don't know if you can see the texture, but there's no texture paste in here. This is just stuff mixed into the paint and the way it was applied. So that's a way to create, to me, it's a way to create texture if you don't have all of the other stuff already. You know, like you could spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, or you can talk to Kim because she'll figure it out, buying this thing and that thing when lots of times you can just do it on your own. So that's what we're going to do now. I've got this little tiny canvas. I had some paint on my brush last night and I just put it on there for a background. But what I did was take a little bit of this Artist Loft paint. And if you want, oops, a reasonably priced paint and it goes on sale like $3.50 a tube, I think. It's normally about $5, but to me, it's a great paint. It works beautifully for 99.9% things you'll ever do. But I took some of that and I have this, I don't drink coffee, but my mom was living with us for about a year and a half and she drank coffee. So some of the used coffee grounds, I kept saving them. I was like, Mom, don't you want more coffee? You want more coffee, don't you? Because coffee grounds are really useful. And just mix it up in there. And all of a sudden now you have a grungy, lovely, crunchy paint with lots of texture in it. And it's just the paint you already have. And then you can put it on with all sorts of things like, I don't know what this is. Oh, it was an ad for Good RX. And if you spread it around, that's how I did the big one, some of it. You have texture. You have texture in your paint with any other expense besides your paint and your canvas. So that's one thing you can do. And then you can throw the toothpick away because it's got paint all over it. And just spread it around wherever, like you're icing a cake badly, I guess. I wouldn't recommend. I wonder if credit cards might work to ice a cake. I don't know. I've never tried it. But
I'll use a flat spatula.
yeah, I did use a flat spatula. But I wonder if you could do cupcakes that way instead of buying another little spatula. And then you can take your next color of paint. This is this color, metallic bronze. Is bronze the ones you don't like, Kim?
Gold.
Gold. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't use gold today. If you this is an old brush that's gotten stiff. Probably it had the acrylic matte medium in it, and I didn't get it cleaned. And if you just put it on, pretend you're two, and just stick it on there. Like, don't worry about it being smooth, because we're not going for smooth. We're going for crunchy texture. So that's one way to do it, is just beat it up with an old brush. That's like the one you'd normally throw away or cuss at somebody for.
I don't throw it away. I use it for.
Yeah, you use it for something else. That's right.
I do.
Lots of times I'll do them and I don't get them in the water, or I don't wash it thoroughly, and that acrylic matte medium in particular will just make a mess of them, turns them into rock hard, but they're good for this. And then I would add another color. These are the Artist Loft Metallics, which I like. This one is Cobalt Blue. And I think it's almost gone. Oh, there it goes. Sorry, made a rude noise. Would be to take, I'm not sure what the goal of this little thing is, but I got it somewhere. I think it's supposed to spread glue, maybe. I'm just showing different things because you might have one thing but not another.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you must find something and go, I don't know what this is for. So stick it in a container and have it in the container of I don't know what, but I'll use it for something. If you just smack it on there, then you're creating texture. Now that's too much glue for me. So the other thing you can use is you can then take paint off with something. Either this is a wadded up tissue, because that's what I had, right? And that creates its own texture. And then you can get it on your thumb. See, now I have like an artist manicure. That's what I call it.
Mm.
And another one, really, I would theoretically set this aside and dry. You can also do the same thing except for the coffee. I wouldn't do that on your gel plate. But if you have a gel plate or a tile that you print on, a lot of these things you can do to create the look of texture. So this is a piece of trim that someone sent me. That's jute. And I'd seen something she did with it. So she sent me this, and it's just glued onto a piece of cardboard. So you could do the same thing and make your own design. Just slap it on there. Really, it works better if you lay it and let it dry.
Maybe you can mute for a minute.
The dogs have an opinion. I don't think they're impressed.
I need to attend something.
Do you have someone coming to your house, Miriam?
I just muted Miriam.
Oh.
Just for a minute.
Yeah, just for a minute.
Calm down.
I'm not going to do it forever because that's rude.
That would be very, very rude. So,
I mean, I can be a hag, but it's not going to do that.
Hey.
You're not a hag. Well, I guess you could be if you wanted to be.
Hag.
You could. So then we get out some ink. Oops.
And button.
Don't throw your ink across the room. That's.
I never squeeze a Stickles bottle with pliers.
That was funny, but not funny.
Oh, I laughed. I did it, and you know it's gonna happen. But you have to do it because you want to use it, right? Oh my word! My whole desk was green glitter, guys. Everything to the side had green glitter on it, including me. It was hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
How far? Oh, here's another one. If you have things that need to be shook up, everybody probably knows this, but I'll show it anyway. And you don't want to get carpal tunnel, you can buy little ball bearings. Oops, there it goes. And they're pretty cheap. You just don't want to get the teeny tiny ones. And you put 2 in the bottle. Like that's what's in the ink. And then it mixes it up easier for you.
That's like they've got them in bottles of nail polish, right?
Yep. Same idea, exact same idea. But you don't want to, you can buy the ones for nail polish, but they're like 3 times the price.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So just look for ball bearings.
Specific.
Yeah, so all I'm doing is squirting some ink on there and then making it run.
Awesome.
And it just makes more color and more. It needs another squirt.
Sorry, Miriam, I muted you for a couple of minutes.
Yes, that's correct. That's perfect.
What were the dogs upset about?
this is the time I think that people come back to their homes
Oh,
because my dogs own the neighborhood, not my house. The neighborhood.
yes, yes,
Of
yeah,
course they do.
Everything bothers them. Everything.
yeah. My daughter's dog does that too. And squirrels. Oh my gosh, we are so protected from squirrels. Like we will never get attacked by killer squirrels without him alerting us because that's what he does. That's his job in life is to make sure that we are safe from those nasty, nasty squirrels. Of course, the squirrels and the neighbor's cat really don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. The neighbor's cat actually parades across by the sliding glass door, I think just to irritate the dog.
Oh, more than likely.
Because the cat will walk back and forth, back and forth.
Oh, no, 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 no.
One day he caught the cat and he didn't know what to do with it. So, and the cat was just kind of wide eyed staring at him, like, oh no, I've had it now. And then he let it go. Looked back at my husband who was walking the dog and kind of like, what do I do now?
That's
It's funny. So, and if some of your texture goes on the edge, that I think that just makes it look cooler. So now I would just let that dry and then see what I want to do to it afterwards. And I don't know what the ratio is paint on fingers to paint on piece, but
it's usually 90% on fingers.
okay. Okay. So if I hit that mark,
In my case,
what the- I have all of my little ink with their color on the lid, except the pink has a green tag on it. How am I going to find the green now? There it is. There's one. I think it needs some green. Normally, I have a shoe box that I spray paint in, or spray inks in, but of course, I'm not doing that now. So there you go. You just keep beating it up until you're happy with it. And you have instant texture. Coffee grounds work. Sand works. You want something that's not going to rot anytime soon. Trying to think what else people have used. Rough sand, coffee grounds,
Cinnamon.
cinnamon. Yes, cinnamon is a beautiful one because it's a little bit smaller granules.
Yeah.
Granules, is that the word? I've used old spices like
Yes.
like leaves, like oregano or any of those. You let them sit out for a while so that they lose some of their smell and make sure they're good and dry. Like you don't want to get any that has any moisture in it. Because mold is not real mold is not attractive in your art.
No, no, it's not.
No,
No, it's not.
it's definitely not. So you want to make sure you can put them in the oven and bake them for a while till they're just powdery.
Yeah.
oh, that's a perfect solution.
All right, I'm gonna go big for a minute.
Okay, you go big.
Go big or go home. Well,
Don't say that.
Or home, Kim.
so I just dry brushed this and edged it with some yellow just to give it a little bit of interest. I have no idea what I'm going to put on the bottom of that because, of course, the texture paste is the focal point.
Oh, this looks like an antique.
Again, I did some dry brushing of yellow on those stacked pieces. I really like that effect. Stuck that cluster on just a thing, lots of texture on there. We also have some diamond dots on the leaf. Do, do, do. And then I added some paint and some leaves to this one. This one I think is going to end up being attached to a front cover because if I put it inside, I'm going to have to clamp that. If I put it inside the journal, it's going to be far, far too bulky.
Would it be like a journal? What's it called on the front where you put the extra little piece on the front? I mean, they put it on. No, I can't remember the name.
Journal cover?
Not the cover, but the placard type thing on top of the cover.
Oh, what is that called? Faceplate?
Well, we'll call it that. That sounds right. That's what we'll call it. Okay.
And because these weren't totally flat, I'm just going to clamp them down because they need to stay where they are.
That's it. Lovely's Crafting Lodge got it. It's a journal topper. Thank you.
Journal topper. Thank you. I've never heard that thing before. Welcome, lovely.
They're really pretty because they add like a dimension to the cover.
Well, I mean, I use those flowers and stuff I do on the paper clips, but and okay, I just consider it part of the journal front.
Now you have the official name.
I do. Thank you. So that's kind of all I've got accomplished today. Who's next? Miriam, what you up to?
I am preparing myself to do
Oh, dragon.
the metal embossing by hand. So I
Okay.
am preparing some figures that it is, I want that to keep secret, not from you. So for another one, so I don't talk about it, but I can show you. It's a surprise for someone who only this.
All right.
So I cut those. I have two more, and I think before I can go ahead, the only thing he asked me to try one that I have, so I need to try it. I'm sorry, but I need to do it. I'm compelling to do it, but I want one print to do it. I don't want to do it like regular thing, because you will see it's a puzzle one. So if I have something that I can cut with that, but then after that will be my puzzle. So let's see. I asked for prints, but he didn't have. I have a lot, so let's do one print. So I have this one. This one is perfect. No, this one is sorry. I have another one. I, so, then, again and again. I don't know why things fall here, all of them. Here, I have something that I can try the passing one. And this is the passing one. We can do our own passes now. Let's try this one. And I can try all of them. You can mute me.
Okay.
I can work without saying a word.
Okay. You're muted. Oh, look at that jigsaw puzzle die. That's lovely.
I like that one. Oh, look at the little individual piece too.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Miriam, I'm assuming those jigsaw puzzle pieces are all individual. Yes, look at that. Oh, yeah, that's a lovely, lovely, lovely die.
Wouldn't that be fun to do on a print that's on cardstock and then give it to somebody as a gift?
Yeah,
Write a note on it first before you send it through
Yes.
the die cut. Write a note on it like happy birthday, and then they have to put it together to get the message.
that would be fun.
That would be so fun. I'm going to do that. I think I have that die.
Send some to Kim.
You know what? I've got bins of jigsaw puzzle pieces, like just jigsaw. Oh, shh. Um,
Are
Are
you
you
into the Are you into the glitter again?
no, I just I'm gluing that feather, and it decided to go glue side down on my dress.
Oh, no.
Dress me up, can't take me anywhere. You know, all's good. Hey,
Oh,
and I didn't swear really out loud. See, I was good girl.
You
Good
did
girl.
good. You held it back really nice.
good job, Kim.
Yeah, the air is not blue around me today.
Is your tongue bleeding?
Almost.
We know the truth.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. All right.
Good self control.
It's nice, Miriam. I love it.
Oh,
Oh,
that's so pretty.
that is.
You know, you could just glue them on a jigsaw puzzle pieces, couldn't you, too, if you didn't have the die?
Yeah,
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
yeah. I've got lots of jigsaw puzzle pieces that I use for that. I make earrings out of them too.
Yeah.
And if you ever see a sticker on a car with a puzzle, it's a sign for autism,
Okay.
support for autism.
I never knew that. That's interesting. Haven't seen that here.
Yeah, it's from a group Autism Speaks, but it hasn't gained a lot of popularity because it's controversial, some of their beliefs.
Okay.
Autism Speaks that started that with the puzzle. I can't remember what it was, but Miriam Rell wants to know if you remember where you got that die.
Yes, in Chimo.
Timu.
Ah,
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
Yes, they have a lot of that.
they do have a lot of dyes.
True.
Even I have ordered them.
And they vary in price from day to day too, so you got to watch it.
Yeah.
I have found though, I used to buy more expensive kind of quote unquote brand name stencils, but I have found you can buy a whole lot of stencils a lot cheaper, like in bulk from Amazon or other places. You know what? They stencil darn good, darn well, very well. They're darn good.
Well, I am going to do some order here, and I am going to emboss. Emboss, 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 emboss. Oh, I did four of these, and I couldn't find it. Where is it? On the die that I put on the envelope again.
Well, if you keep watching different places, the prices on the machines are changing because more and more people are making them. It used to be Spellbinders and Sizzix pretty much were it, but lots of
Yeah.
other people are making them in different sizes, so just watch for them. Or if you have, like, I don't know if they have it where you are, like Facebook Marketplace, people sell them used lots of times.
Yeah.
You can get one that'll work pretty inexpensively. I got one that's one of the first made. It's a lever action one.
Oh,
And
cool.
the lady sold it. I have two others, but this one was fascinating because it had a whole bunch of small dies that are the type that are like a plastic square with foam in it, and then it has the metal bit that comes down.
Yes, I've got some of those.
Yeah, those are awesome. But this machine, it was that with like, I don't know, 50 or 60 dies for like $20. So I had to get it.
Just had to.
Well, it was sitting there forever and nobody else would adopt it. So I felt sorry for it. And she kept lowering
There
the.
you go. That's important.
I know. I felt bad for it.
Craft supplies have feelings too.
Hmm. So I went and bought it. And it cuts things really well. Better than I have what is it? Um, oh, the big kick. My daughter-in-law gave it to me because she accidentally had two, which cracks me up. But it cuts them. So yeah, we're all just keep an eye out. I don't know. I found that after the end of the pandemic, too, people got into all these crafty things and then didn't.
Yeah.
Man, they were awful. I was given things that are just like somebody said, I have gesso. Does anybody want it? I was like, sure. It's a 2-quart bottle of gesso. Like,
Nice.
why would you buy a 2-quart if you weren't really into it? I don't know.
Well, because they thought they were into it and then realized that, hey,
Or they didn't realize how big the bottle was in the picture.
Yeah.
that could be. And a lot of people don't realize how much they need to use or how little they need to use.
Yeah.
If you're just starting out on something, you have no clue about the quantity or size that you need.
Hmm.
I mean, look at all the junk journal supplies. I bought a lot of crap. And
Yeah.
it is crap. I don't use it, and it's sitting here. Whoops.
Me too. I did that when I first got into it, and gel printing. I started that right before the pandemic, and then I kind of went berserk.
Yeah.
And then after the pandemic, there were some amazing sales on things. So
It really was.
yeah. The other thing to keep in mind, Raul, is look at alternate sources other than your normal craft supplies. Like I ordered, I mean, I know you're not in the US, but in the US, there's a big company that mostly supplies kind of an odd combination. Farmers, like like cattle raisers, and educational schools. It's an odd combination.
It's because they homestead, hun.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So you can buy everything from cow tags to handmade paper. But when they have a warehouse clearance sale, holy cow. They had golden brand paints. Look at this size. Like the big size. This size, which is how many ounces is that?
Well, you're not on screen. Let's all four be up.
Oh yeah, we're not.
Go ahead.
So it's the big tubes. These were $3 a tube during their warehouse clearance sale. So that tube, I can't see if it says how many ounces it is. Okay, it's the 5 fluid ounce size, and it measures 7 inches long, and those were $3 a tube.
That's a good price.
Oh yeah. Well, I got them. But what I'm saying is, if you check those alternate kind of supply places, you never know what you're going to find.
For sure.
They had mat board for, I think it was $1 a sheet, and they're like, I cut some up last night, 24 by 36 inches.
I get mat board at the local thrift store.
Really?
Yeah. I've got a few big full-size sheets for like $2 for a full sheet. I'll take it,
Yeah. I wonder who's selling it? I mean, donating it to the thrift shop.
There is a local framing company out here. And I'm wondering if it's just like old stock and just not. but I got a really nice navy blue piece. I mean, it's not a normal color. It's like white. I've got a navy blue, and I had a gold. Well, gold's more common, but you know,
It's not easy to cut. Holy cow.
I know I've got a husband with
Yeah. I
a
don't.
workshop that I say, can you cut these into journal cover size for me? And I've got a whole stack.
Is that what you use it for?
Yeah, mostly. The other thing I use it for is when I get them to cut little strips, and then I use it for making my lined paper, right? So I got various woods, and that's what I use because it's really nice and solid.
I have to use it for that then. I just cut them in half so I could store them easier.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's interesting. This green and the yellow don't look much different on that blue.
If anyone doesn't know, in the US, well, anybody can watch them, but Golden sponsors online classes. They're usually about an hour and 10 minutes long. And if you register and complete it at the end of the demonstration, they give you the chance to order a box of free golden art supplies.
Yes, only in the US.
Oh, they only
No,
mail.
no,
You
no,
can
no.
watch
I
it.
got it
Wait,
too. I got it too. So it
you
must
got
be.
it.
Yeah, I got a
They,
box from Golden.
so they do mail to Canada then.
Yeah.
Yes, not
Yeah.
to Israel.
Yeah, they don't internationally because they said something one time about the customs information and what can come in and what can't, and it's just too expensive. So.
The other thing is freezing because if they ship it by air and it's something like the that stuff, the gel medium that you were just using, it will freeze and then it doesn't perform the way it's supposed to. So
That, that's bull expressions.
Mhm. But
because
it's a nice box. Do you think so, Kim?
because they in Amazon, I bought my goldens in Amazon, and they ship from the United States to here. And now we have a representative from Golden in Europe or Asia. So the paint must arrive from somewhere
that's really interesting, Miriam, because I worked for an art supply store and they would not ship anything like that in the wintertime.
I
Could
wonder
be.
if it depends on the paint
Well, I
too.
guess, but I mean, we sold like a lot of Liquitex, Windsor Newton,
Yeah,
um,
the better ones.
yeah, Grumbacher. Like we sold all that stuff, and any watercolors, glues, mediums that were water based, they refused to ship in the wintertime.
I know what is it, the glue stuff, what is it, the glitter glue, which I'm over it, but they won't ship that in the winter.
Yeah.
But I wonder if
Oh,
it is just a difference in the paint makeup because there are differences.
there are, but also like that big gallon of the Elmer's glue all that I use, they
Hmm.
won't ship from the States to me in the wintertime either. I have to order like now so that I've got it for the winter.
That's another thing somebody gave me after the pandemic was over. A huge container of glue.
Nice.
I know. Then once people know you want stuff like that, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's how I ended up with so much yarn. Kim will use it. Thank you.
Give it to Kim. Well, somebody said I have some old books. Do you want them? I was like, sure. How old are they? Oh, 18 something or other. It's a whole collection of books. It was like 50 books, 40 books.
Nice.
Anybody that wants to come to Virginia, I'll give you old books. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you're thinking of moving too, right?
Yep.
Like that. I've got stacks of books on the floor here because I've run out of bookshelves, and I've got 8 bookshelves in my house. I'll have you know, but I've run out of bookshelves, and yeah, same thing. They're sitting on the floor. I don't want to move.
Yeah, I know. I have second thoughts all the time. I'm like, no, no, no. The works. But I figure like trying to clear out excess stuff is a good idea now anyway. So
Yeah, I've been working on it. It's not happening very well because then I get sidetracked and that's what I was going to use it for. So then I start playing, and it just never ends.
sometimes you have to set a timer and just say, I'm going to do this for this long. See, Belinda says she tried to start gel printing with golden prints. Yeah, they're a very little of their paint goes a very, very long way on a gel plate. I started with just craft paint, and that was really easy to work with and learn with. Now I don't use the golden so much on gel prints, but I'll use it for other things. And they're made in the United States, in New York somewhere.
Well,
Apparently, you can go and arrange to have a factory tour.
that would be cool.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I would like to do that. I'll have to put it on my list of things to maybe do one day.
I have some more text to hear.
Okay, hang on. I just making a mess. Okay, let's see what Miriam's up to. Do do do. Oh, Beth's playing something cool too. Oh, look at that. That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
I did with the cutouts of these. I did 4 of them and 4 of them here. And I used this. This is the paper one, and this also at first. And now I can come to this part with this. This is another very important tool for you. And you can do lines, texture, or whatever you want all around. Not so noticeably, but do some different. If you put some marker here, then it will catch the ink will catch it here. And you can do it as you want, like with ruler and do it straight, or you can do it like this, as I am doing, and I am sure that Kim is doing like that too. Here, it's great because it's too narrow to have not place for the material to go. So you can touch another one, a little piece of that, and you can touch it. And after a while, you cannot see because I have 3 different shapes here, and you can see it, but it's not important, let's say.
I like that. I've done that with glue underneath. Glue, and I've
Yeah,
done it with
yeah.
yarn underneath. I love that.
But the other one that you do with metal, not with metal tape.
Yeah.
You can do with metal tape, but you need to do it on a soft surface one way and five copies of the other. Then you make that. Well,
So you
I
put the
am,
metal tape over the die cuts? Is that what you did?
yes,
Oh,
I
I
put
love
the
that
tape
metal
over.
tape.
Me
And
too.
these ones are very plain, but if you choose something with the more like a cutout or something, it's even better. And I want to do the other method, the one with the glue and such. That's perfect. That's what I want to do sometime. Someday. There. I have my, so what I am going to do is to put it inside before I glue it. That way it's not going to tear. You see? Now I can put my glue and it won't be a problem. And here you can do like that and you hardly will see the things. And you
Miriam,
can
do
do,
they sell that tape in hardware store in Israel?
yes, but I ordered in Chile
Oh.
because I didn't know exactly where to go to find it. So I saw it in Temu and I put. Sometimes I need to put more uh, items because they are going to. They have a minimum to send without payment.
Uh-huh.
I want free shipping. I need to have a minimum, and sometimes it's better because the prices are okay. They don't
Yeah.
have hot prices, so I
I think
can
in the
do it.
US
I
it's
can.
HVAC tape. And
This is a tape that for the air conditioner.
yeah. Yeah. That's why they call it HVAC for heating,
Yes,
ventilation, air
Yeah.
conditioning.
that's it.
We use that when we do glass mosaics too.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you do with it with the glass?
You put it down on the board first, and the weld bond sticks to it really nicely between that and the glass.
Uh-huh.
It holds nice.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to do the other part that you do with that is to take a marker that needs to be permanent, and I'm going to go all over with that. Oh no, I ruined it.
It's scary when you get to that stage, isn't it?
It
Like,
is. It is because it's like, oh, is this going to work or is this
I
not?
ruined
what am I gonna do now?
it. Yeah. Save me, mommy, save me. But if you doing for me and do everywhere,
Oh, like somebody's eating potato chips.
but now you need to let this dry. So if you want to go to someone else, I
Okay, let's see what
will
Beth's
tell you
doing.
to dry.
Beth looks like she's working on something a lot of fun. Let's see. What you doing,
I'm
Beth?
I'm working in my Happy Meal book, and I'm doing collages with Happy Meal and extra art supplies that I need to use up, and I make And so all of this is made with Happy Mail in here, and the cards. People send me cards and stuff that I wanted to save, and yeah, it's just a Happy Mail book, and it's something to do with your Happy Mail. When you get so much of it, I get so much of it, so I enjoy using it, and I love doing collages. So that's what I'm into right now. I'm into the collaging,
Nice.
but just do some fun stuff. And another book, another book to put on the shelf.
Yeah, I've got a Happy Mail book happening too, and I'm
And
partway.
there's a lot of Happy Mail, a lot of people I know that sent me this stuff, and I've even got some sticker art in here. And but anyway, it's just an old photo album book, or it was from the flea market. I mean the secondhand store, and it's two binders in it, and two rings. And then I just used scrapbooking paper that I had extra scrapbooking paper of. Got to use it up.
That's right.
So
Awesome. Very pretty.
but I'm done with my birds,
I love your birds.
and they're fun. They're having a good time. They're pecking around for their seed. I got their seed beads on down here for their bird seed
That's
is
fun.
is on there. Yeah.
Oh, so
And
much
then
fun.
and then I found some more beads up here. They're stars. So
Okay.
it's starting to get evening time, and the stars are starting to come out. Um,
Perfect.
this, before the sun goes down.
Perfect. Perfect. Love it. Love it. I have to show my Happy Mail book. This is from Miss Janet Nash had started me on this, and it's gotten out of hand because remember when Janet was doing the heart journals? Well, I did a heart journal, but I wanted to stand, so I added a whole bunch of the envelopes that I got in Happy Mail, so it will stand on the shelf now. It's still really kind of heavy, but this is my Happy Mail journal that I'm working on, and yeah, so there's something about them. I just love them, but I have to thank Janet for hacked it into a heart, so it's getting full. But
Yeah. While I'm trying not to start any new projects, that's what I want to do next is a heart book. Janet, thank you, Janet.
yes, thank you, Janet. Like, and I'm just enjoying putting the Happy Mail in bits, and I'm having a blast. I've got a bin to still add stuff, and so when I've actually got room to play on here, I work on that. Yeah, Janet, it is very comforting and just makes me smile. Like my big thing is things that make me smile, right? So that's one of the ones I absolutely love to play in. Who's playing that I need to take a look at? I'm looking, I'm looking. What are you doing now, Miss Beth? You know what? Let's just all be up here
This is
and
my this is my Happy Mail book, and I'm just gluing two of the pages
oh,
together. And
oh
these are the scrapbook paper I was trying to use up because I didn't have any use for this blue tie dye. So it's in my book, and single sheets are thin, so I'm gluing the front and the back together
yeah,
for
that was one of those
stability.
train magazines that I was using. Those
This
things.
is out of a paper pack that I buy from Walmart. It's called Pool Cool or something like that. Pool. It's the pool blue. It's all blues, and
Nice.
I've bought in the book at least 4 times now.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yep, yep. Walmart.com has it.
Hmm.
The thing with all that offers is that it's very costly for me to arrive to them. Walmart, Hobby Lobby. Not for me.
Well, I think this might just have to go on the inside of this journal. Right there.
Well, girls, it's almost 3 o'clock, and
Oh,
I'm a, my backside is going on strike,
yeah. Hey, Sherry, welcome, welcome.
so I'm gonna have to get off of this stool
Yeah, that makes
about
sense.
3 hours.
Yeah,
So
other
uh,
times we were already into that.
I
Like,
hope that everybody in the chat room realizes that there's a streamathon starting tonight at about 11:30, starting with Miriam and Raul. And I will be on at 12 midnight tonight or somewhere around there. As soon as they get done, I'll be on after them. And the marathon begins. We're kicking it off tonight. And I'm going to be doing all 12 midnights to 2 a.m. all week. If anybody that streams and they want to pop in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, you're invited. If anybody streams and you want to get some practice in, or you want to just come in and talk to me, you can read the chat while I paint. I'm going to probably do a lot of painting. I think that would be a popular uh, ordeal, unless until somebody tells me to do something else. But I do funny paintings, so I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to also try to adhere to the theme for each night. And tomorrow night it's collaging, and there were several descriptions, so I might even do just a collage page tomorrow night for the theme of the show. And if I have any other time left, then you know, then I can paint. So uh, so I'm going to say good day. Have a wonderful
thanks
rest
so
of the
much for
Sunday.
coming and playing, Beth. Can you just pop your channel link in again before you leave?
Okay, okay, I
Thanks,
can do
thanks,
that.
thanks. Perfect, perfect.
You are a brave woman to do
My
that.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
Miriam, you can pop yours in again too, please.
my channel,
Yeah.
yeah, it's in my name and it's in my screen, but I can put it anyway.
Yeah, just because the streamathon's starting tonight and it's starting with you and Roel, I'm assuming that it's on
Of
your channel.
course, of course. Only that I am in your channel now. Yeah.
Thank you, Beth. Have a wonderful day.
Okay,
I don't know
bye.
if I'll be up at that hour, but we'll see what happens.
You can always watch it on the replay.
True,
No
true.
problems there.
That's it.
All right. Thanks, Beth.
Done.
Thank you, thank you.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you.
Let's make Miriam big and see her uh, final thing for the day. And then Anne and I, and we will call it a day. All right. That looks incredible. Miriam, you're big.
Okay.
I know I'm making you do 200 things at once. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sherry and I are very close to each other. We
For
live very
burnish,
close.
for burnishing, I use toilet paper.
That works.
Yeah. So if it's working,
Okay, Janet, take care. Thanks for coming.
Janet, enjoy
I
your
got my hand. So you can use regular paper also. You go until you are satisfied with the result. Some people use to varnish the ones that you use for the foods, and I don't have it. I had that all my life. I have never used it because when you buy something for the bathroom, They used to come like in a set, but I never use them. And now that I need them, I don't have them.
That's always the way, right?
Always like that. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jen, Eastern time.
So this is more or less. I need to banish more, of course.
That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
See, guys, you can use anything for making texture in your journals, on your journals,
Yeah.
or on whatever else you want to add texture to.
And I think I will try some of the things you did today, other day, of course. Oh, that's
Squeaky.
really. Yeah. Okay, I don't think I want to take a lot more. I want to be more smooth. Let's see if I can do it like that. This is another way with a paper and like this. And this is working too. You see that I have everything
Ah,
here.
fabulous.
You can do it with a newspaper. You can do it with inks or with paint. No need to be a marker. So
You just have to burn it sooner so that it doesn't dry, right?
yes, depends of what you use. You have a different kinds. But I wanted it to dry because if not, you take everything out. And see, I left some.
Yeah, I
So
like it. It looks aged.
yeah, I want to take more from the this fellow itself.
Belinda's asking if a cotton swab or a Q-tip would help for the smaller spaces.
I can try. Let's try, Belinda. I happen to have one here.
Surprise!
Oh, yes, it
Look at
helps.
that. Belinda saves the day.
Excellent.
Yes, it helps very much.
A little bit more control for you, where you're doing it too,
Oh,
right?
really bad.
Fabulous.
Yes, right. Thank you, Belinda.
Awesome.
Okay. I think I have it where I want. The only thing I should do or I could do is to put some alcohol paint here and here. But before you do, you need to fix it.
So it
You
doesn't dry.
need the fixative, the fixative that you use for paint or carbon, sorry, charcoal. The same one you can use here. You have to find it. Yeah, I won't find it immediately. So I think I am going to go to another. Okay, but it's good
It's
enough for
fabulous.
me.
It's fabulous. It really is.
Wow,
So,
look at that.
Thank you. Thank you for showing us that technique. I've never thought of putting the foil over die cuts. I haven't.
you can put over die cut, over paste,
Yeah.
over thread,
Yeah. Well, like I
and
say, I've done thread, I've done glue. So, but
glue gun. Glue gun. You can do something with the glue gun
that
and
would
then put tape on it.
that would be fun. Definitely. Awesome. Okay. Let's
Okay, thank you.
thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Miriam.
All right, let's
Thank you.
check in what you're doing.
Well, I've been auditioning things on here and I can't find anything I really like. So I think it's one of those where I'll set it aside and think about it.
Yep.
I did some ink work around the textures to make them stick out a little bit.
Right.
You were saying about, using things you forgot you had. I grabbed a pen off the desk over here that I thought was metallic, but it was glitter.
Oh, wonderful.
But it's a very mild glitter. So I added a little bit of that and a little bit of a white gel pen and a little bit of this marker.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, you just
That's
keep
the way
doing.
to do it.
Yeah. And I did the back and the edges are done. And this one is almost dry, so I can add to it in a little while. I'm not sure what I'll do. But then I decided that someone else needed great grandpa. So this is Robert Hawkins Rayford. And one of my grandsons is actually named Rayford.
Okay.
So I took this little frame I had, this little wooden frame, and I painted it. So it will end up going on there, I think. And although I don't know, he's only 4, so maybe I should show the whole face instead of cutting poor old Grandpa Rayford off. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm doing is I was trying to come up with things to add to these pieces. And you know how you just like nothing really strikes your fancy, it's perfect. So I don't know, maybe the turtle in here. I got this turtle that's metal and I put embossing powder on it and put it, guess where? The pancake maker.
Nice.
Somebody mentioned embossing powder, and I wanted to mention something I learned. This is not my original thought. Embossing powder, you don't have to have the specialized embossing ink or glue. It will stick to Elmer's glue. It will stick to water. It will stick to matte media. Anything that will hold it in place while you heat it up works. So that's just one less thing you have to buy is that specialized ink or glue for
Excellent.
technique I saw where, oh, it's Seth After. He took and put, like on a canvas board, he took and put with an eyedropper or some kind of thing, water along here and let it drip a little bit. And then while it was still wet, he also did it with acrylic matte medium and just let it run down and shook it. And then put the embossing powder on it and heated it up. And it was the most fabulous technique.
Awesome.
So there you go. One more thing you don't really have. Plus, I think embossing ink is super expensive for what it is.
It is.
And try out. So,
Awesome.
there you go. So we got that done. This is almost done.
Perfect.
Other one. I don't know. I know. I'm happy. I got 3 of them done. So
That's excellent.
done. Not quite.
That's excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
So there you go. Lots of fun. Thank you, Kim.
Oh, no, thank you. I always appreciate you guys coming and playing on Sundays. This gives the audience more ideas. And, you guys know, I just like having a variety of ideas that people can utilize in their own work. All right. I will just go big for a minute. So basically, all I've done is dry brushed the texture paste stuff I made and put on here, edged it with some paints. I didn't even use muck water, guys. I just used the paint I had on my desk. This is the one out of the stacks of cardstock. This is the one using my pressed paper flowers. And the cluster of stuff. So I had some fun today. I appreciate, you guys coming and sharing your ideas and the audience for throwing ideas at us too, because that's what we're all about here. Okay. We go small. There we go. So don't forget, Streamathon starts. And the themes for the Monday are collage, posters, entangling, mandalas, zines, drawing or sketch-alongs, and so basically mixed media. And Well, Miriam and Raul are going to start it off, and Beth is the first streamer up. So definitely have some fun. Miriam, anything else you want to say about the streamathon coming up?
Yes, but it's better I keep everything tidied up tonight because I start 6:30. I cannot show my parents, and I did this one, and
Those
I
are
wanted to show you
okay.
because
Let's make Miriam big. Hang on, hang on. You're up.
thank you. For one of them, I put two die cuts, and then I realized why don't put another one? I can put however I want. So I did another one here, and I have the cat also. So I have two
Perfect.
windows for the price of one.
Perfect. Perfect.
And that's it. Tomorrow will be, or tonight for you, will be the start. And I am very pleased that we are going to have this opportunity to show our work and to have uh, good times with our kids.
Yeah,
That's
I think it's going to be a blast. I think
all.
it's
Yeah,
going to be an absolute
I
blast.
think the same.
All right. So it has been 3 hours, folks. I'm going to.
Oh, really?
Wow. Wow. I know. Time just flies when we do this, guys. Like it just,
Yes,
poof,
time flies.
it does. It really does. So thank you, Beth. Thank you, Miriam and Anne, for coming and
Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, everyone.
and
Thank you, Anne.
I will post
Turtle.
schedule on my Meet Your Creativity when I finally get it. It's there. I just need to get it. I will post it for the schedule for the streamathon. It is going all the way to next Saturday. Going to be lots of stuff to tweak your creativity. I am sure. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody who's here and chatting, everybody in the balcony, and any replayers. Hugs to you all. Have a wonderful evening until 11:30 when Miriam is back. Hugs. Bye now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.